Well, first he was talking 2016 on Late Night. Now he's bragging about his athletic prowess. Listen to what Vice President Joe Biden said at an event celebrating Black History Month.
A couple good friends here. Mayor Kevin Johnson, who is the National Black. And I told the president next game I have him. I'm a white boy, but I can jump.
I may be a white boy, but I can jump. Meantime, a new CBS News New York Times poll showing just 42% of Dems say the vice president should make a run for the Oval Office, 39% preferring he didn't. 58% of independent voters saying no thanks. Brad Blakeman is a former deputy assistant to President George W. Bush. Leslie Marshall, a syndicated radio talk show host and Fox News contributor. All right, Leslie, I may be a white boy, but I can jump. Is this good PR for running for president?
I don't think that Joe Biden has ever, when it comes to talking, colored within the lines, using the term malarkey during a debate. And also, maybe he was just quoting that old movie. Remember with Woody Harrelson, white men can't jump or white boys can't jump. But you know what? I haven't seen anybody from the African-American community upset by it. And I think both left and right, everybody's, kind of used to Joe Biden just saying what Joe Biden feels without a filter, which may not be good for a presidential run.
Well, then there you have it, because sometimes Bidenisms end up being totally inaccurate, right, Brad? Because just the other day, I think when he was on The View, he said only 2,000 jobs were going to be lost as a result of Obamacare. It turns out it's 2.3 million. There's a slight difference there.
Well, it is, and Joe never lets the facts get in the way. We call him Say It Ain't So Joe in the Republican Party because you just shake his head every time he makes a gaffe. And that's why you don't see very much of the vice president to date, is because I don't think he can afford to get out there ahead of the administration and be effective.
Yeah, but now we're seeing him, Brad, though. But now we're seeing him. He did at least 3 national television shows. This is an obvious push, is it not, Brad? Isn't this because he wants to run for president, or what's the reasoning?
Well, I think that's exactly right. They're trying to give him more exposure, but at what expense? Every time you go out there and try and give him something, the only thing you remember are the things that he said that were either wrong or gaffes. And I don't think the president can have him too far out there if he continues to do it, because remember, this isn't the eve of the next election for president. We have 3 more years of Obama, and I don't think he can afford to have Joe Biden as his point person.
Interesting. Well, Democrats rolling out a new campaign strategy at the same time for the midterms centered around Obamacare. A major counterattack now in the works following a wave of Republican criticism. Senate Dems insisting the law is working and that the party is united on it, even though no one actually up for re-election was at today's press conference. Listen to this.
I can't speak on behalf of my other colleagues, but I think you see a very different way in which Democrats are talking about the act in this year compared to 2010. Democrats are proud that they voted for it.
Leslie?
Well, I do see a difference and a change, a shift in the Democrats, even if they're not at the press conference. And I think that's just because of the numbers that have come out. We see more and more enrolling. We see more youth enrolling. And like the president said, if it's successful, nobody's going to call it Obamacare anymore. Also because, as you know, women have more need for insurance. We have more, thank you, unfortunately, due to our gender. We have more health issues, especially as we age and especially giving birth, et cetera. And there are a lot of women state by state that feel that perhaps the Democrats, along with the Affordable Care Act, are more in their corner. And certainly the female vote is something Democrats want and have relied on in the past.
Of course, both parties want the female vote. But, Brad, why were there no Democrats at this press conference today who are up for re-election in 2014 if the party is so united?
Because they would have to then justify their disastrous vote on Obamacare. They're trying to pin this all on the president. That's why you're not going to see the president out on the campaign trail. The problem is they voted for it. It's their record. The lies that were parroted by the president were also parroted by them in selling Obamacare. And the Pelosi rule that all we have to do is pass this 3,000-page bill that nobody read, and then we'll find out what's in it. Well, now we know what's in it. And if anything, women are hurt more than men by Obamacare for the very reasons that were just stated. They need more expensive health care. care, especially in childbirth. And women are not immune to the lies that were told by the president. Their policies are being dropped. They're seeing their prices go through the roof on medical care, and they're losing their doctors.
Well, and there's a lot of talk about women in this debate, and it turns out that the Democrats are also going to go back to the war on women as something leading into 2014. Got to wrap it up there. Brad, Leslie, have a fantastic day.
Thank you.